Alright, now that the sun just went down, finally got her washed in the garage on jack stands and hooked to the ceiling just in case. Show you guys the RackBoss heavy duty rack and pinion from Super ATV. A couple stickers. Directions, little bump stops. If you have the 1.5" forward offset A-arms, or if you just like your axles. I do have the 1.5" offset forward offset A-arms, and these came with it when I got the arms, but it knocks your steering down so bad. It's already horrible in these 2010 RZRs. I don't know about a new one. I imagine it's better, but absolutely horrible in these things. And those little 1/2 inch or so bump stops cut it down even more. And it's not even worth it. I'll buy axles again. I'd rather buy axles every 3-4 years than put those bump stops in, because you can't do anything. I'm always backing up and going forward on the trail, and it's just a huge pain. So let's throw those things out. But here are the rod ends. Very heavy duty. Very beefy. This kit for my 2010 800S was right at $300. Which I think is not bad at all. Come on. For everything you get here. There it is. Here it is without the boots on. Very beefy unit. And here is all the facts, fun facts that those packaging types like throwing on there. Whether they're true or not is to be proven, but 65% larger housing seems a lot bigger than the old one. I'll compare it, of course, but then the chromoly gears and rods and the 10.9 grade hardware, that's a big plus there. Oh yeah, and the swage tie rods. Forgot to mention. I didn't just get the rack and pinion there, I also got the links. Although, I just thought of something. I think I have little extensions on here from Super ATV. Maybe those guys right there. I'm pretty sure I had to add something onto these stock rods because of the Super ATV A-arm kit. I mean, hopefully, because this is Super ATV, that this works out well, and I don't need to transfer some weak little thin tie rod pieces, but I guess that is to be seen. Just wanted to add, when they tell you to measure and mark where the tie rod is, make sure your steering box is straight, do that. It was just barely off, maybe a couple hundred thousandths, but still makes a big difference. And of course you're not going to have your joint there, but I just took these ever so slightly, pair of pliers here, and it fits pretty well without clamping on, of course, and marking it all up. Unfortunately, I can't find the paint marker, but Sharpie will have to do. And of course measured with the finest pair of Starrett digitals that the garage has to offer. The finest. I went right on this side, I went from this face here to the end of the tie rod. Oh, and make sure these are screwed in all the way too, because they were a little loose when I did it the first time, and I just had to redo it real quick because one was unscrewed. But in this one, it's gonna stop. It's gonna stop against that wall inside there. So I went from the wall to the edge there, and then this one, it will not go through or not go under the slip here. So I just did from the face of that to the face of there. Alright, the steering box is out now. Kind of a pain in the ass to get out. There is 2 captured nuts on the top there. Maybe 3. Let's see, how many were there? Oh, those 3 on the bottom. Yeah, those 3 on the bottom were not captured nuts. So you had to get a wrench in there. One right there, in the middle, and over there. But the top 2 are captured. So those 3 are kind of a pain to get to, but not the worst thing in the world. Just make sure your steering link here is loosened up. It will not come off while the box is in there. So you have to take this bolt out, and then you can remove the box, and then it'll come off. I tried prying that off, just cause, not that it needed to, but yeah, that does not come off until the box is ready to come out. Now, of course, I had to do a little dissecting, see what's going on in here. So, took the plug off of that little spring, presses down on this plastic piece. Not sure why I put that back in there, but I did. Little plastic piece just keeps pressure on the gears. And have to say, this brown Polaris grease didn't work too good. Yeah. Shame on Polaris. Could have lasted a whole lifetime. Anyways, pop the seal off. Pop this off. Bearing there. Nice and worn out. The gear, not too... Oh no, it's pretty bad. There's a good chunk there. Probably the bearing might have just... I don't know. Maybe the bearing fallen apart and got in the teeth there. Not sure. But that looks good and properly wore out down in there. That's the failure. Wow, can't believe that. Pretty sure that's supposed to be a nice even circle there. Not 100% sure. Never ever had any steering rack apart, so not sure about any of this. Why doesn't that come out? There. Yep, all thanks to that good old brown Polaris grease they got there. Because there's absolutely no way that could be mud. Absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely no way. Absolutely no way that's mud. That's Polaris grease, without a doubt. Oh. Yeah, those are probably from the bearing. Very nice. Oh yeah, look at there's a bunch right there. Jesus. Oh, it's probably bearing all the way down in there. That failed. Like I said, I'm not sure, but I've seen a lot of bits fall out of that down there. Not sure if that's a bushing or a bearing. Pressed all the way down in there. Not gonna find out either, but there's a problem. And look at this. Unbelievable. Look at that. Freaking incredible. Definitely a beefier and better unit. Just look at the bracket. Holy crap. Bracket's double the thickness. And the shaft. Might be a little hard to tell. Oh no. Get pretty good. Whoop. Definitely not gonna be putting Polaris grease on the new Super ATV unit. Now the boots did come off at one point in time on this old one. I rode for the rest of the day and obviously replaced it before riding again, but who knows? Those boots aren't completely tight. Eventually this Super ATV unit's probably going to give out too. But it'll just be a lot longer time. I have probably 11 to 1,300 miles on this. And they're pretty hard miles. If you watch through some of my videos and some stuff, a lot of stuff I didn't get on video out at my buddy's house, but yeah, there's been a lot of hard riding on this unit here. Those are about the same. Yep, good stuff. On this episode of Shit You Can Barely Reach Ever, we have the Zerk fitting on the front of the prop shaft there. Now the stock prop shaft joint does not have a Zerk fitting, but I had to replace the fittings a couple years ago, so make sure you get that if you got all this apart. Alright, a little gripe I have about the hardware here. Stock on the RZR are these 1/2-inch bolts. Or 1/2-inch head bolts, I should say. I think they're maybe 1/4-20, probably. But the Super ATV units, they come with M8 hardware. Why the hell would they change that? I mean, they are 10.9 grade hardware, but grade 8, 1/4-20 grade 8 hardware, which this does look... I didn't even look. I didn't even look to see. I'll have to look up those lines and see what grade it is, but well, I don't know why they wouldn't supply 1/4-20 or whatever it is hardware, standard hardware. Just blows my mind, because the two nuts on top there, those are welded to the frame. Those are captured nuts, and you can't use their hardware for it. Yeah, that's the only complaint I got about the whole kit so far. I just want to go, test fit, try to put this in the capture nuts, and found out it's metric. Why would they change that? No clue. I guess maybe one day I'm gonna have to use this hardware for the two top nuts right now, but I guess maybe one day I will go to the store and get grade 8 if these are not already grade 8. They do have the coloring of it, but I'm gonna have to check out that code. But yeah, why is that? Why would they do that? Alright, so these are grade 5 bolts that come stock with your RZR. I just looked up the 3 lines, and that is grade 5 hardware. 6 lines is grade 8. So if you have 6 lines on the top, that's at 8. This 3 lines is only 5. Bare is grade 2. And, I might just leave that. I might just leave them in there. I don't really see the need to go out and buy grade 8 bolts that long and go through all this. I will put their hardware in there, the 10.9. But really, it's only a matter of... Oh, I forget what they measure it by, but it wasn't too far off, the different grades. So another thing is, make sure you tighten the rod ends here. I was attempting to put the boots on, and I forgot all about tightening these up, and I accidentally loosened one. It reminded me. Thank goodness. Another small gripe is over zippy ties. They give you 2 of them, and I don't even know if the packaging person is trying to have fun or what, but they put it in backwards. It's not actually zippy tied. Wait a minute. No, it's not actually zippy tied, but I don't know why it's in there like that. But anyways, there's 4 places for zippies, and they only give you 2. I mean, not that any shop, or not that any garage doesn't have zippy ties, but still. It's like, really? You can't throw in 4 zippies? Alright, one more question / concern I have for tonight is this flat. Focus. This flat that is on this pinion here. Now there's a key that goes in there, and it has to go in the steering joint a certain way. Now, when they tell you to mark and measure the whole rack and pinion, they have you make it and mark it even. Now, I had to move mine, roughly, like 150 thousandths. Somewhere around there, around a little over 1/8 of an inch. I had to turn the pinion there, and it just makes me wonder, maybe it was right. I'm not sure, because I had to turn the steering wheel. I have the steering wheel dead straight in here when I went to go put that together, because I wanted to make sure, of course, the steering wheel was straight. Well, I had to turn it 90 degrees just so it would fit that key, that big key in there. It's the only one around the whole pinion, and it has to fit in that groove. So I don't know, I had to turn the steering wheel 90 degrees. I mean, I'm sure there's enough adjustment on the links that could account for that. Or actually, I probably could just take the steering wheel off and move it if need be. I never had that apart yet, but yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that. I'll have to see. I'll have to slap this together tomorrow morning and find out real quick if it's the same even movement side to side. Alright, I finally got the steering box in, but it rubs, or it did rub, just a little bit on the pinion housing there for the front diff. Come on, focus. You can see a little rub mark on the front of the steering housing. I would highly recommend just shaving a little bit of material off of that. That channel right there is for the bolt, so there's plenty of material to go around the housing. I'd recommend just shaving a little bit of it. I didn't because I just want to get this done over with, but it'll make your life super easy if you just shave a little bit of that. Here it is, all done. everything went pretty well. I did have to take the steering wheel off and move it 90 degrees, put it back on. Real easy to do, just pop the cover off, take the nut off, and it's a spline in there, so real easy to do. I did remember on the stock rack and pinion, the links, one of them was way extended and the other one wasn't, so that might have something to do with it. I never moved the steering wheel ever, so not sure if it's something from the factory or what, but anyways, it's fixed and it moves the same amount both ways you turn it, so I know it's perfect at 90 degrees when I moved it. So yep, that's it. Already took it around the yard a few times, made some adjustments on the links. It rides perfectly straight on the road. Already put a little Loctite on the jam nuts and tighten them up. A little blue Loctite just to keep them from moving at all. But yeah, everything works really good. Go take it for a little rip.